Hello and welcome to Sunday. Mallory decided that today she would make some tear gas because she's
Trying to kill you?
trying to kill me.
That sweet, sweet life insurance money.
Oh my god. I think Mal would be disappointed. Mal's making these little things.
Caprese skewers.
Caprese skewers. And they got, is it balsamicus in them?
It's in that to-go cup.
Oh good. A beverage treat for the on the go. We're going over to Austin's for a little party. We're making a finger food. This is the finger food.
I think you want to give the food the finger.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's good. That stuff is good, but like when you're smelling all that balsamic at once, it's...
It was in the air. It evaporated.
Yeah.
I reduced it.
Me and Dan put some tables and chairs in the car, and when we... Jesus Christ, when we came in the door, it was like hit you like a film. It was really bad. It's incredible what it smells like in here.
Can you eat the rest of those cheese cubes?
Certainly the cats must smell this. They got good sniffers.
Is that mozzarella?
Mm-hmm.
Can you smell the smelly smells of something that smells smelly, kitty?
I smell the smell.
Will you give them a second meal?
Yeah. It won't be vinegar, don't worry, boys.
This is normal Dan to me.
This is normal, Dan.
Yeah.
Normal Dan.
All right. I'll go with Anthony. I think we all agree that that's the no.
The actual Merlin was Daniel.
When he said he knew that these two weren't, I was like, I'm gonna listen to him.
Oh, that was beautifully done. There was more to the party than just playing Avalon, but I didn't film anything else. I was too busy playing games and having fun. One notable thing is that I finally, after all these years, got the chance to play Ticket to Ride. I love games. I love board games. Ticket to Ride is one of the most well-known, most loved, most highest-rated board games, and I've never played it, ever. And I finally got a chance to play it tonight. Me and Mao and Austin and one of Austin's friends played through Ticket to Ride. Actually, Ticket to Ride Europe, which is probably a weirder one to start with, but from what I understand, from what Austin told me, the only difference is that it takes place in, of course, Europe, and there's a few other things added. There's tunnels and ferries, but the game was pretty easy to understand. It was very fun, and Mao actually won. So it was neat. Me and Mao, neither of us had ever played Ticket to Ride, and I can see why people enjoy it. I think I'd probably really like the base game also, but it was a fun game that maybe I'll have to pick up at some point in the future. Anyway, so after that, came back home, kept working on stuff because we are preparing for the trip, and I just realized something the other day, courtesy of a comment, courtesy of a viewer, that needed to be addressed. It needed to be addressed because it was a pretty monumental thing that I had no idea. It would have completely passed me by. If I hadn't seen this one random comment, it would have been lost on me. And that was the fact that this coming Tuesday, aka 2 days from now, is our 1000th memorable moment, which is incredible. That's super, super cool. And I would have never known if I hadn't seen that comment. It just was like, hey, the 1000th memorable moment's coming up soon. You can do something for it. And I was thinking, is it? Is it really? So I went to the playlist, and sure enough, yes, on Tuesday, we will have our 1000th memorable moment. And that's a cool achievement, but I also have not been following that because I just send stuff to the playlist. I don't actually look at the playlist itself, so I don't keep track of how many videos are in there. So in a perfect world where I had more time and I wasn't spending all my current time preparing for this upcoming trip to Boston and New England states, I would do something like my top 5 or top 10 favorite memorable moments. I think that would have been far more appropriate. But since I didn't have that sort of time, I decided to do something completely different. And I made mediocre moments. You see, every time we make a batch of memorable moments, whenever Dan gets his stuff, occasionally there will be some that we don't use, some that just aren't up to par. Now, that doesn't really happen so much anymore. But back in the day, I didn't have as strict rules for what should constitute a memorable moment, and Dan more or less made basically everything that was submitted. Now, some of those would get turned into like a little montage. Like if there were several if there were several moments that were like not super great or they were maybe too short, they might get turned into a montage, but some of them didn't. And we've been holding on to some of those for years. They're not always particularly funny, or they're not long enough to constitute being their own memorable moment. And my criteria has risen over the years for like it has to hit a certain mark to be posted onto the channel. So I have all this crap, I'll call it crap, that's been sitting in folders, and I was like, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. If I had more time, I would do like my top 5, top 10 favorite videos. But instead, I'll just take all these videos that haven't seen the light of day, I'll put them all together in one big video, and then, you know, it will be a big conglomerate of mediocreness. And that's what I did. So it's 11.5 minutes of moments that, and they're not bad. Calling it crap's not completely fair. They are just, you know, mediocre. Some of them are funny, but they're short. Some of them are like not super funny, just kind of like, oh, haha. But that's what I decided to do. And the other good part about this is that it gets all those moments out. So now they do technically exist. They just exist as part of a larger thing. So there. So that's what I decided to do. Maybe when we hit 2,000, I'll do my top 10, top 5, whatever, favorite moments. Because I think that would have been fun. I don't have time. I do not have time. I have a huge, I've called it the Doomsday prep list, and I'm going down and checking off all the boxes of whether video's been recorded or edited or uploaded or scheduled, and I've got, I don't know how many to do. It's a preposterous number. So I'm working through it, but because of that, I can't spend a lot of extra time doing things like this, because I didn't even know about this. This is something that just popped up on my radar a few days ago, and I was like, So because of that, this is what I'm going to release. But maybe in the future I'll do something a little more special. Yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm pretty excited because we're going to be getting in bed a lot earlier than we have in the past week tonight. So we'll be getting some pretty good sleep. And hopefully that will continue. We'll get back on track, because when Chaz and Jeff were here, while we had fun and we did a really cool thing for Dan, we also got way off track on our sleep. So we're going to have to try and get that back onto rails. But we're doing it tonight. Let's be back tomorrow, shall we?